So this video is going to discuss blood typing, and what we need to know is what are the different types of blood, why is blood type important, and what types of blood match. In the late 1800s, sometimes a patient would die after receiving a blood transfusion. Sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. So Karl Landsteiner was a physician who started mixing blood from different patients together to try and determine why these patients would die. And he determined that sometimes there would be this smooth consistency to the blood mix, and sometimes the blood would clump up, which then couldn't move through the veins and would kill the patient. He discovered that there were two types of proteins, which we'll call antigens. There was antigen A and antigen B, and these two proteins were different shapes, which is why they were different types. So if the red blood cell had the A protein on it, then you were known to have blood type A, and if it had the B protein on it, then you have blood type B. If you had neither of the antigens, you had O blood type, and if you had both antigens, then you had blood type AB. The blood would also have an antibody to attack different types of blood that were in the body, so that's what you see on the other part of this graph. Dr. Landsteiner also found something called an Rh factor, which is passed from parent to offspring, and if one of the parents has the gene, it's likely that the child will have the gene for this Rh factor, but this is where we get the positive and negative in blood types. So what does all of this look like? So in this circle here, what you see are the red blood cells, and the blue triangle is going to represent the A protein or the A antigen on the red blood cell, and this green square down here is going to be your Rh factor. So they're just different proteins on the red blood cell that have different shapes. You can see that this here would connect to the B protein, and it has a completely different shape than the A protein or the Rh factor. So we've talked about the different types of blood, but now we need to know why this is important. So we're going to watch a quick video where the different colors of water indicate different blood types. The blue water is going to be type A blood, the yellow water is type B blood, the green water is type AB blood, and the clear is type O blood. And what we're going to do is we're going to mix these different blood types to see if we find a color change. And if we have a color change, that is going to indicate that the blood is clumping and this transfusion won't work. So here you see we mix A and B blood and we see a color change. So that would not work. Then we'll take our blue A blood and we'll mix it with the green AB blood to see if there is a color change there. So take a second and think about what you think the reaction will be. And there is a color change, so this is another blood transfusion that would not work. Sorry for the videography here, this is my iPhone video. The last mix that we'll do with the A blood is we'll take some blue A blood and mix it with clear O blood to see if there is a color change. So we add the blue A blood, there's the clear O blood, and what you see with this is there's no color change. So A blood can accept other A blood and it can accept O blood. I'm going to kind of skip ahead in this video. We'll go through the B, and the B you'll see the same thing. When I mix B with A, there's a color change. B with AB, there's a color change. But when I mix B with O, there is no color change. So that means that I could take that. When we do the AB blood, we're going to mix green with the blue, and it gives it a different shade of green, but it's still green. So we can mix AB blood with type A, with type B, and with type O. But type O blood is going to be tricky. Type O, if you add any of the three colors to it, you're going to see a color change. So in this case, type O blood is the universal donor. I can put the clear water in any of the colors and there won't be a color change. AB blood is the universal recipient. It can receive any color and it won't have a change. So now we've talked about what are the different types of blood and what is blood type important, but we need to go into further what types of blood match. So this is a game that I will give you a link for as well, and you can do this on your own. This is on nobelprize.org, and you can just kind of play with different types of blood to see who can receive what. So we're just going to do a quick game, and you need to do blood transfusions. So first we need to determine the type of blood. So we'll select this patient, and we're going to take blood from her arm, and then we're going to add it. Now in this tube A, if you click on it, it's got A antibodies. So if blood type A goes in here, we're going to see a clump, which would indicate a positive result. So we put our blood in there, they swirl it around, it's a negative result. It's not blood type A. And it's not blood type B, which means it has to be type O. And then we're going to look for our RH factor, and we do get a positive result here. So our blood type should be O positive. And there we go, we're correct. So then what we need to do is we are going to get this patient and we're going to have to give her a blood transfusion. So there's only 2 blood bags required, meaning there's only 2 choices over here that she can take. Now remember, she's type O. Type O is the universal donor, but not recipient. So O could get O positive. She's O positive, so she can take O positive. But she can also take O negative. This RH factor, if you have it in your blood, you can take positive or negative blood. But if your blood is negative, here, let's look at a positive blood. If your blood type is negative, normally you can't introduce any of that into the blood. So I'm going to hang this bag of blood up here, and you can see that she lives and everything is okay. So we're not going to continue with that. Again, I'll have that for you so that you guys can look through this. So please make sure you answer all of the questions below. Please watch this video as many times as you have, as you need to get all the answers. If you need more information, please email me, and make sure you have this assignment finished before you come to class tomorrow. Good luck.